Hello, magical people of the internet. I'm Jen, and welcome to my vlog, I Never Thought I Would. In this vlog, I talk about the creative process and how doing things I never thought I would do led to some huge breakthroughs and opportunities both in my career and in my personal life. So, on today's episode, I would like to talk about how I never thought I would do a one-woman show. I never thought I would do a one-woman show. For those of you who aren't sure what a one-woman or one-man show is, it is a theater piece where one performer does the whole show. Yes, I know, it sounds pretty scary, doesn't it? Even for professional actors, it's pretty scary being the only person on stage for anywhere from a half hour to 2 hours and doing a whole show by yourself. When I first moved to LA, I was taking some acting classes and I met this woman, Mina Oliveira, in my acting class, and she was working on her one-woman show. So each week in class, she would bring different pieces, different sections of her show and work them out during class instead of doing like a scene from a play or a movie. And I was so impressed with her. She was so talented. She was really incredible, the way she could play different characters and seamlessly snap in and out of them. And her story was really compelling too. Her one-woman show was called Latina on the Loose, and it was about her moving to Los Angeles from Brazil at 17 years old, not really knowing the language, not really knowing anybody, and kind of navigating her way as a fish out of water. I offered to help her with her show, and she was happy to have my help, and we produced a workshop of it, and she had a lot of success. She got picked up by the LATC, which is a big theater company in downtown Los Angeles, and she had an amazing run. She's had a lot of success in her career. She actually just had one of her feature films that she wrote and produced and directed released in Brazil just before the pandemic. People who have done successful one-person shows and made it into their big break are Chaz Palminteri. He did it with A Bronx Tale. My Big Fat Greek Wedding by Nia Vardalos is another project that started off as a one-woman show and got made into a movie. Also, John Leguizamo is kind of, I call him the king of the one-man show. He's done several of them so far, and they've gone on to have major success on Broadway. But he claims that his one-man show, Freak, is what opened all of the doors for him for his career. It's one of the things that up-and-coming actors can do to showcase their work, and the beauty of a one-person show is you are telling the story that you choose to write, and you write it in a way that can best showcase the things that you do well. I produced my friend Mina's one-woman show, and that went on to have a huge success for her. And then I was approached by a woman named Susanna Brisk, who was part of the same acting group where I met Mina. And she asked me if I could help her with her one-woman show called Mommified. This one was about having two children very close together, and how overwhelming it is to be a young mom with two young children, and kind of all of the comedy that ensues while you're trying to stay sane, keeping these two little babies safe and healthy and cared for. And her show, Mommified, went on to the Melbourne Comedy Festival in Australia, and she's also gone on to have some wonderful success in her career. I remember just being so in awe of these women. They were so talented. And I remember while I was helping them with their productions, I kept thinking to myself, like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I could never do something like that. Like, I'm a good actress, but that's not what I do. I'm not like a one-person show actor. Like, I could never, I could never do that. I could never play a bunch of different characters. I could never be on stage for an hour and a half by myself. I just, you know, I just really love being part of storytelling and theater and film productions. So I work behind the scenes quite a bit when I'm not on camera or on stage, because I really just have a true love for the entire process. I never, ever, 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 I can't even stress this enough, ever, ever, ever intended to do a one-person show. I was happy to help my friends. I was happy to help these actresses who I admired and thought they were so talented, but it was never for the purpose of me eventually going on to do a one-woman show. That was completely a different story, which I'm about to get into. I was taking a workshop called The Mastery of Self-Expression. I met a woman there. She had mentioned that she had some horses, and we went horseback riding one day. And as we were getting to know each other on horseback through this beautiful setting in the Santa Monica Mountains, we were talking about how I had been in LA about a year and I was having a little trouble kind of navigating how to get my foot in the door. So she suggested, you're a talented writer, you're a talented actress. Why don't you write yourself a one-woman show? And I was like, oh my God, panic attack. No, I'm not like a one-woman show kind of actress. It's not really what I do. Anyway, we kind of talked it through, and she's like, well, it would be a really great vehicle for yourself, and it would be a great opportunity to invite some agents and managers and people in LA to let them know that you exist. Kind of just showing up and sending your picture isn't enough to be like, I'm here and I'm fabulous, now hire me. That's not really how it works. So she encouraged me to figure out what kind of one-woman show I could do, because that could help me open some of the doors that I was having trouble opening. So we kind of started brainstorming while we were riding horses, like, what do you think you could do? And what is kind of your brand? Well, I was kind of thinking that I've gotten compared to Sarah Jessica Parker in the past, that I kind of have a similar look to her, that I'm kind of quirky like her and funny. So I was thinking, a Sex and the City type of thing could possibly work. So I went home and I, kind of brainstormed for a couple of weeks, and I came up with a show called Year of the Slut. And Year of the Slut is, I kind of describe it as a mix between Sex and the City and 50 Shades of Grey. It's about these kind of dating, romantic misadventures, similar to Sex and the City, but the character is in her mid-20s and out of her first relationship, has only been with one guy, and she's really naive and insecure, kind of like Anastasia from 50 Shades of Grey. But it's a feminist piece. Unlike 50 Shades of Grey, it's not about submitting to a man in any way. It's about female empowerment and going on a kind of outrageous adventure of sexual exploration and dating, and it's a lot of fun, but it also has a really positive message that I wish somebody imparted onto me when I was that age, trying to figure out who I was. I also kind of brainstormed what roles I could play, like what accents I could do, what characters I could do. And I came up with 10 characters, and I basically built the show around those 10 characters, trying to showcase all of the different things that I could do. And I have to tell you, just the writing process alone was mind-blowing, because I was coming up with characters and ideas and jokes that I was like, how did that come out of my ass? Like, I didn't know I could do that, and these voices were coming out of me, and it was one of the most incredible things I've ever experienced in my life, because the most exciting thing about the creative process is surprising yourself. And when I sat down to write every day as I was writing this one-woman show, that's what happened. I surprised myself. I realized I had this talent and this ability further beyond my imagination, like way beyond, like I was better than I thought. Which is really cool because I think like a lot of times in life, the anticipation and the fear we build up about doing something is scarier than actually doing it. The fear of doing the one-woman show was way scarier than actually doing the one-woman show, because when I sat down to like write it and put it together, it came pretty easily and it was pretty seamless. So it took me a few months to like write it and rewrite it and get feedback from some friends and colleagues and work on pieces in acting class. And finally, after several months, I was ready to invest in getting a theater space and a director and actually like putting the show out in the ether and like inviting strangers. So that was a very scary process too, because I put some money aside, I spent my own money. It's not like some, big producers like, here's $20,000, go do your one-woman show. It didn't happen like that. It took not only me believing in myself, but some other friends coming together and coming on board and believing in me, because it really does. Any of these creative endeavors, even a one-woman show, is not a one-woman show. It takes a village. It takes a team of people who are working really hard to make something like this fly. It was an amazing challenge. It was something I never thought I would do. I'm so happy I did, because it pushed me to another level in my creative journey. It pushed me to another level in my career, and it also pushed me to another level in my belief in myself and what I was capable of. This one-woman show is now a novel, Year of the Slut, and like I explained in last week's episode, I have decided to relaunch it and retitle it, so it's now called Year of the What, and the new version, Year of the What, will be coming out in a few months. I invite you to come with me on this journey, and let's see if I can turn my failing Year of the Slut novel into a Year of the What success. I've mentioned before that because of the word slut, I cannot get any ads approved on social media or Amazon because the word slut is too offensive, even though it's a feminist piece. So I wanted to share my journey and maybe help some other people get inspired to not give up on something that they believe in, to try something new, to try something you've never done before, because you never know where it might lead you in your career, in your life, and one day, who knows, you might actually be living your dreams because of it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful for you checking out my channel. Please remember to like and subscribe. Please leave a comment if you are embarking on a new journey of something you never thought you would do. I would love to start a conversation, and let's help each other stay positive and stay motivated. Have a fabulous day.